everyone, and welcome to the 8th and final day of my trip here to Hong Kong. So I've had a late checkout of the hotel. It's actually 1 o'clock now, so I spent all morning just lazing around the room, looking at this amazing skyline here. I just sat in the windowsill and just looked at it for hours on end. I had some breakfast. Today was a bit different than the other days. I decided to go for some French toast, which is a classic here in Hong Kong. So yesterday, I spent most of my time on the Kowloon Peninsula, this side of the water, exploring all the sights and attractions there was to see. So today, I'm going to do the opposite and head over to Hong Kong Island. There, I'm going to do quite a number of things. Don't know what yet exactly. I'm just going to get the Star Ferry across and walk my way around. Basically, just being as relaxed and leisurely as possible. But first thing I'm going to do though, because I haven't done it yet on this trip, is go into the K11 Musea. Last time I was in Hong Kong, it wasn't here. It's a new shopping mall. When I say new, it's been here a few years already. I'm going to have a look at some of the shops, maybe get myself a drink, and basically just take my time. Today's all about relaxing because 1 o'clock tomorrow morning, I'm going to be catching my flight back to the UK. That flight's going to be 12.5 hours, and then I'm pretty much going straight to work. So I get back to the UK tomorrow morning at 7:55, if there's no delays, obviously. Drive home, start work. So today, in this heat, I just want to take it as relaxing and as leisurely as possible. So you might be wondering where I'm walking. So this area is known as Avenue of the Stars. I was here a few episodes back, but at night. Now I'm here in the daytime. So Avenue of the Stars is where all the famous Hong Kong actors, actresses, and directors and filmmakers have their hands imprinted into placards of steel all the way along the harbour front. There's even a huge statue of Bruce Lee, who's probably the most iconic and most famous martial artist of all time. It's a bit different than when I was at the Bruce Lee statue the other night. There's actually a queue of people now to have their photo taken with him. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, even though I used to watch a lot of Hong Kong martial arts films when I was younger, the majority of these names I have no clue about. There's only the ones which have actually transitioned to the more Western films in Hollywood, such as Jackie Chan, Chow Yun-fat, the director John Woo, Jet Li, Maggie Cheung, etc. like that are the names that I do recognise. But this is a great place to just walk along. Lots of people here. It's a Sunday afternoon, just for context. Lots of people walking around with their families who look like locals, and a lot of tourists as well, just coming in for a stroll. And I don't blame them. It's lovely weather. In fact, it's very hot. I think it's 31 degrees today. And just to put that into context, it is November the 6th. Back home in the UK, I'd imagine it's really, really cold. But here, it's absolutely baking. Sun's beating down. Yeah, I enjoy walking along this area because nice and wide, plenty of space, great views across the water, huge buildings this side of the water as well. So, like I said, the plan is first to go to the K11 Musea, the shopping mall, which I can see from here is just by there. Have a quick look around before catching the Star Ferry over to Hong Kong Island itself. Now the Regent there is also a really nice hotel. I've never stayed in there. It used to be an Intercontinental Hong Kong, and it's got one of the best unobstructed views of Victoria Harbour right in front of it. But as you can expect, it's pretty pricey. 3 hotels along here is starting with the YMCA, then you got the Peninsula, then you got the Sheraton. And all 3 of those are great places to stay. They've all got that iconic view over there. I'm going to be staying at the YMCA when I come back to Hong Kong early next year. I booked a 2-bedroom suite on the top floor, so hopefully should have great views. On that trip, I'm going to be coming with my son Matthew and my daughter Holly. So here we are at the K11 Musea. Let's go inside, take a look around. Probably not going to be here too long, like I said. It's just because I've never been here before and it is a new building, so I want to have a look what it looks like. I'll tell you what, we'll go for a walk this way and then turn right double back on ourselves that way and keep heading towards the Star Ferry terminal. So what brands have we got here? We've got things like Burberry, Brunello Cucinelli, never heard of that one before. Jimmy Choo, so that's going to be some shoes in there, I guess. Looks like a food area here. Okay, so you can have things like Bollingers to have a drink and Tattinger. Okay, let's have a look at the sign, shall we, to see what's actually in the place. So we're on the ground floor here. What is there? Anything interesting? I'll tell you what, I think it's pretty obvious I'm not going to buy anything in here. So I guess I'm just wasting my time. So I'm going to head back out, go in through a different entrance, or an exit now, I should say, and head towards the Star Ferry terminal and go over to Hong Kong Island. So you've got Yves Saint Laurent, got Cartier. Well, there you go, that's what it looks like. If I zoom up, look at that. So fair play, the architecture is pretty impressive. Let's head back out, shall we? Whoa, as you come out, the sun hits you right in the eyes. Problem is, we've been indoors in these kind of weather, and I haven't brought my sunglasses with me. As soon as you go back outside from being anywhere inside, you're just temporarily blind just for a few moments. I'm in the shade, that's better. And that's what it looks like from this side. Got a nature wall with the logo on it. Before I get on Star Ferry, I thought I'd just sit down here for a couple of minutes and just admire the view. So I'm going to be taking the boat to Central, so I need to go this way. And the good thing about the Star Ferry as well, you can use your octopus card on there. Okay, so the cost of this ferry journey is 6.5 Hong Kong dollars, which works out about 70 pence. So I think that's really good value for money. It's looking a lot busier than when I was on here the other day. There's virtually nobody here then. Now, the place is getting pretty busy. Well, I've got a window seat, so it's going to be a nice breeze across the bay. And we're off. They literally only do take a couple of minutes to offload people, load up new people, and then set sail across the water. There's a continuous stream of ferries all day between the two piers. The only ones I've been on is here from Tsim Sha Tsui to Central, but they also go to Wan Chai, which is further down there. You can also get ferries to all the outer islands as well, which I really wanted to do yesterday, but unfortunately I couldn't. I wanted to go to Lamma Island yesterday, but I just couldn't do it in the end. But I really do enjoy these Star Ferries. They're very leisurely. And for the price, 6.5 Hong Kong dollars. You know, where else can you get a view like this on a cruise boat for 6.5 Hong Kong dollars? So I'm thinking about going over to that fairground there and go on the Ferris wheel. I did go over there the other night, but I wanted to do it in the day to get a bit of a better view. So I think that's going to be my first port of call. I've just spotted a sign for the Hong Kong Maritime Museum. Didn't know it was here, so I'm going to take a look inside. It's right next to the pier I arrived at on the Star Ferry there, but I suppose it's a very fitting spot for a maritime museum. It looks like the price is 30 Hong Kong dollars, so that's about £3.30. It's not too bad. Okay, I've got my ticket and my map. Lady said there's 3 floors, and to start, go this way. I guess I'm starting on the bottom floor and working myself way up. basement floor done. Let's go up to the next level. This is the B deck galleries. You've got some great views out the window here, overlooking Kowloon Harbour that direction. So I've just decided to sit down for a few minutes and just relax. Like I said, today is all about trying to relax. So far what I've seen in the museum is really good. I think this is a lot better than the two museums I went to yesterday, the Science Museum and the Space Museum. Mainly for the fact it's actually got real artifacts in this one. The other two museums didn't really have anything. I think they were more catered towards children and interactive exhibits, whereas this really tells you about the history of the area and the maritime traditions of Hong Kong and Canton, as it was now Guangzhou. When you're looking out the window, you can just see the Star Ferry coming over from the pier that side to by here, which is where it docked and I got off there. And later today, we're going to go right to the top of that tower over there. It's called the Sky100 Tower, and the observation deck is right up there. So I'm hoping it'll give amazing views of Hong Kong and Kowloon below it. And it'll be 360 views all around. Right, I think this is going to be the final floor, and it's called A deck. So I think I've seen everything here at the Maritime Museum, and to be honest, I really enjoyed it. It's a great little museum to come to, and the cost, that is pretty cheap. I think that's well worth the money. So now I'm going to go back down from A deck, all the way down to the ground floor, and head on to my next place. So I'm going to head over to that Ferris wheel now. I believe it's called the observation wheel. As soon as you come out the door, you're hit by the heat and humidity. It's bang in the face. Looks like there's quite a large queue to go on the Ferris wheel, so I might leave it to when I come back to this area later, because I'm going to be catching the Star Ferry anyway. So I'm actually feeling a bit hungry now. It's the time is it? Just after 3 o'clock, so I think it's definitely time to get a late lunch. So I've decided to go for my lunch to a place called Kams Roast Goose. It's another one of those famous cheap Michelin star restaurants, and as you can probably tell by the name, they're famous for its roast goose. So it's just going to be a short MTR journey away, so I'm going to catch it from here in Central and go all the way over to Wan Chai. Should take about 15 minutes. Oh, that's a huge Apple store. So it looks like the MTR station is in the IFC Mall. I think I've just walked through mini Manila. I think this must be the Filipino area in Hong Kong. There's everybody speaking Filipino, Filipino money changers, Filipino clothes shops, Filipino food shops. So the central MTR station is just across the road here. So this is the one I'm going to take. It's the platform 3 to Chai Wan, and I'm going to get off at Wan Chai. Not as many people as I expected, to be honest. So I'm just going to take it from 2 stops. I'm here in Central. I go past Admiralty and get off at Wan Chai. Should only be a few minutes.
So I've arrived at Wan Chai, but Kams Roast Goose should be just a few minutes walk away. So as I was saying, it's a Michelin-starred restaurant, one of the cheapest ones you can go to. It's famous for its roast goose, hence the name. And I'm probably going to get some roast goose and roast pork as well.
Now, according to the map, it should be on that side of the road. So I'm just looking for a pedestrian crossing because not a hope that I'm going to be able to cross this road here. Terrible feeling. It's that place over by there with a large line outside it. I was hoping there wouldn't be a line at this time of day because it's between lunch and dinner, so everybody should have either had their lunch and they shouldn't be eating their dinner yet. But we'll see when I get a bit closer. So I am number 638. Don't know how long I'm going to be. In fairness, there's not that many people in front of me, just some over to that side and some over to that side. So I've been waiting here now for over an hour and there's still at least about 30 people in front of me waiting to go in. I think that, coupled with the fact that it actually says, if you can read this, that there's no roast on rice or roast on noodle dishes available. That's what they're actually famous for, is the roast goose on the rice. So the roast on rice and the roast on noodles are actually their cheaper offerings that they do. So I imagine they've said that today because it is Sunday, because I doubt they would have run out of rice or noodles. So I've made a decision. I don't think it's worth waiting potentially another hour because only about 15 people have gone in about the last hour or so. And because the goose on rice and the goose on noodles isn't available, I've looked at the more expensive menu and we're talking about 550 Hong Kong dollars for a mixture of suckling pig and goose. I don't think that's going to be worth almost £60 for lunch. So I'm going to call it quits here, I'm afraid. It's a shame because this is one of the places that was on my bucket list that I really wanted to come to. Because it gets rave reviews, not for the service, but for the food. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to walk down the road in this direction and see if I can see anywhere else to eat. After all, we're in Hong Kong. There must be food stalls and food shops on every single corner. Oh, well, I have to admit, I'm a bit disappointed, but the thought of waiting another hour there, not to get what I actually want as well, I don't think it's worth it. Okay, let's keep walking. Let's find somewhere else to eat. That's a shame. Okay, I found this place called Happy Kitchen. There isn't a queue in there, and that's always usually a bad sign. But I am hungry, and they do roasted goose on rice. So I'm probably going to go in here. So this is what I've got. This is the roast goose on rice. The roast goose arrived almost instantly, probably because it's just hanging up in the window. So he just got one of the geese off the rack, chopped a bit off, and then brought it to me on a plate. I've got a Coke as well, so total cost for the goose on rice and a Coke was 66 Hong Kong dollars. So that's about £7, so that's not bad. Let's taste it, don't we? So here it is there. I don't know if you can see it. Don't know if you saw that or not. Try it. Well, first one out, a big bowl. Cold as well. I don't know if it's meant to be cold. I guess I've been hanging in the window. Let's try and have a piece again. There it is. Needs a lot of bone in it, if I'm honest. It tastes okay. Nothing special or nothing to write home about. And like I said, it's on a bed of rice as well. Rice is with standard boiled rice, as you'd expect. So there's more goose. I'll be honest, it is pretty difficult to eat with the amount of bone in there. And I'm not an expert chopstick eater. I am proficient with them, but anything technical, I'm useless with chopsticks. Well, this piece is quite moist. The other ones weren't very moist. I don't know if that piece came from a different bird, maybe. Still got bone in it, though. So I think about a third of that goose was bone, but it tasted reasonably okay. Nothing spectacular, nothing to write home about. Price was okay, though. And it's quite quiet in here as well. And I walked straight in, got a table, and had my food all within about 2 minutes, which is always a positive. Okay, so I'm probably going to leave here. I'm going to pay up and keep walking down the road and see where else I get to. I think all I want to do now, there's only a couple more things I want to see. I like to go to Tai Kwun, I think it's called, which is an old prison and jail here on Hong Kong Island. I'd like to go back to the Ferris wheel and try and go up there, at least before I go. And the Sky100 observation deck back on Kowloon. So I'm continuing to walk on the same road I was on earlier. I'm going in the same direction. I'm just looking to see if there's anything around, if I'm honest. There's another roast goose shop across the road there. A lot of the shops I see here are jewellery ones. So you can see I'm passing a couple of jewellery shops now. Lots of gold, lots of silver. Past a number of clothes shops as well. Ooh, pineapple buns. I think I'm going to get a pineapple bun. One, yeah. Yeah, a buttered pineapple bun, actually. Thank you. Okay. So I've just got myself a pineapple bun as I'm walking down the road. It's a staple of Hong Kong snack food, these things are. And it actually gets its name because it looks like a pineapple, not because it tastes like a pineapple. It's just a basic bap, and this one has got a big slab of butter in it. You can see that. That's the butter. It looks like a big slice of cheese, but it's actually butter. And it's still really warm, so hopefully that butter's going to melt a bit by the time I start eating it. It's just a bread roll, basically. The coating on top is quite crispy. It's almost... doesn't taste like it, but it's got the consistency of a short crust pastry. A bit like when you get like a crusty cob bread roll at home, but more flaky, I'd say. There's an awful lot of butter on it as well. I don't think I have that much butter in about a month. Well, actually, I don't have any butter in a month because I don't eat butter. So I've just come off the side street from the main road. So that's the main road I'm walking up and down there. Just for it to be a bit quieter to eat my pineapple bun. Okay, so I'm in a big underpass here. Looks like these market stalls behind me over there. But I think I'm going to stay walking on that main road. You just buy Bitcoin on the street here. Got to be careful buying Bitcoin on the street. By the time you walk home, it might have lost about 10% of the value. Or gained it, of course. Now I have to go in there. It's a Transformers themed restaurant. I know I've already had my dinner and I've had a bun. What have we got here? Which any burgers? I might just get myself a drink. So we'll have a look around before I order anything. There you go, Optimus Prime there. So I have ordered the lime soda and the vortex twisties. I didn't feel like having a full meal because after all I've just had a roast goose. So I'm not that greedy. So it looks like the food's come down in a dumb waiter, or like a little lift for food. So here we go, my lime soda and vortex Twizzlers. Now let's go upstairs, shall we, and have a look what's up there. So it looks like upstairs you've also got another place you can order from over by there. The ceilings, projections of the cosmos by the look of it. So I guess, I suppose we're on the Ark, aren't we? The Transformers spaceship. That's what it looks like up here. So it's Autobot zone upstairs, Decepticon zone downstairs. And this is what I've ordered. The Vortex Twisters, which looks like potato wedges, and a lime soda drink. I didn't want to get a large meal because I don't want to be too greedy. I've had a roast goose and I've had some pineapple bread. So this came to 60 Hong Kong dollars, which is about £6.50. Bit on the pricey side for what it is, just a drink and some spuds. But let's try them, shall we? So the wedges come with a sauce. I think it's melted cheese, the sauce is. So let's try the drink first, shall we? Lime soda. Got pieces of jelly in it. Don't know if you can see that at the bottom here. Oh, where's the camera going? The bottom here, that's all pieces of jelly in there. And then we've got some lime. Okay, where am I? Camera, come back. Okay, let's try the wedges or the vortex Twizzlers. Or vortex twisters as they're called. It's potato wedges. It's okay. But the drink, that's really nice. Very unique as well to have blocks of jelly in there. I guess it must be lime jelly maybe at the bottom, all chopped up into little cubes. Oh, here's some wedges. You can see. Again, standard potato wedges. Hot potato wedges. So, I think the plan's going to be now, I'm going to catch the bus from somewhere, or maybe even a ding-ding if it's going in the right direction, all the way to Tai Kwun prison, like I mentioned earlier. So that was an old prison and police station, I believe, which closed down many years ago, but now it's a tourist attraction. You can walk around, there's free entry as well. And you can just see how the prisoners live, how the police used to stay. I think it was a residential complex for the policemen as well then. When I finish there, I'll catch the ferry back across to the Kowloon side. Go to Sky100, Sky100, that's what it's called. So the very tall tower with the observation booth at the top. Then I might go back to the hotel. So even though I've checked out, I was speaking to the lady in the club lounge earlier as I left my bags there and asked if I was able to use the facilities. And she said yes, so the plan is maybe I might go for a swim to cool down and then I can have a shower and be totally refreshed, change my clothes for my flight home early tomorrow morning. Not sure yet. I might do something else before then. We've just got to take it as it goes, I think. The plan for today was I had no plan, if I'm honest. I just wanted to relax because if I don't get to sleep on the plane, I'm probably going to be out awake for 2 days straight. Bit more, actually, because I'm working. Yeah, so about 2.5 days straight, I'd be awake. Thought of it. I'm not sure what the burgers would be like here, but the photographs look quite nice and unique buns that they came on. They were shaped like the Autobot or Decepticon symbol. They also had quite a lot of chicken on the menu. I know, so it was like equivalent of popcorn chicken, some chicken wings and chicken thighs and drumsticks. And all the lower half of this is just jelly. So you can't be my age and not be a big fan of Transformers. I grew up watching the cartoons and having the original toys as a kid. I always remember one Christmas I had Optimus Prime. Probably back in, when would that be, maybe 85, 86? I'm not sure. I think it might have been a bit before then. Whenever Generation 1 Transformers came out, I used to collect them. Obviously a fan of the Autobots more than Decepticon, but I also remember having Megatron as well, which was a revolver. Had Soundwave, which was the cassette deck. And he had Laserbeak, I think I remember his name, the cassette tape that used to open and fly off, change into a bird. And then for the Autobots, I remember Hot Rod, a few others, but it was mainly Optimus Prime. He was the main one. Every Saturday morning on kids' TV, we used to watch Transformers cartoon. I remember going to the cinema to see the original Transformers, the movie, and the first time we had a VHS video recorder. Before then, we had Betamax. And probably a lot of you guys don't know what Betamax is, but there was a rivalry between two different formats, Betamax and VHS. My family went with Betamax because the cassettes were a lot smaller and it was meant to be a lot higher quality, but then VHS won out in the end. And the very first VHS video that we purchased was Transformers the movie. And I've actually still got that VHS tape now at home, buried somewhere in the storeroom, but I still own it. So yeah, I used to love Transformers as a kid. Transformers, Thundercats, Mask. They were probably the three main toys crossover. Oh, and He-Man. That was a crossover between cartoons and toys. Yeah, good times. So I finished my potato wedges, otherwise known as Vertex Twisters. I finished my lime soda. I'm going to have a bit of a walk around on this floor just to see if there's anything different up here. Then I'm going to head outside and catch a ding-ding to go to Tai Kwun Jail. So I guess this is the cockpit of the ship. And if I was at home now, I'd be tempted to take a couple of balloons with me, but I don't think I could carry those onto the flight in a few hours' time. There's balloons everywhere. I'd have an Optimus, I'd have a Bumblebee, I'd have the Ark. Can't see any Decepticons though. No, all good guys. Right, let's go and find our way to Tai Kwun Jail. So I need to catch the Happy Valley to Kennedy Town Ding Ding, or Tram, is where I need to go to. So I'm currently there. Need to walk down that street and go to the tram station by the... If you're ever going to the Ark here in, I think we might be in Causeway Bay area of Hong Kong, I'd recommend that lime soda. Those pieces of jelly, or pieces of jello to my American friends, really made it quite a unique drink. So it's one of them I want to catch. Oh, this stop is Morrison Hill Road, and I want to go towards Kennedy Town, and I'll be stopping somewhere along that way. Western Market, Shong Tok. No, what is this one? Can't see anything on that one. So I want to get off at Poddinger Street there, and I think I'm currently around this area. So I just need to go north, well, that direction, towards Kennedy Town, Witty Street, Shek Tong, or Western Market Terminus. So whichever comes first, I'm going to jump on that. No, not mine. So what's this next one? Oh no, it's just a tour, this one is. It's an old-fashioned one. So it looks like you can also do open-top tram tours around the city. So usually the trams come about every 5 or 6 minutes anyway, so I'm not going to be waiting long here. Even though it's starting to go dark, it's still really warm. This whole trip, all I've been doing is complaining about the heat and the humidity. But I can't help it, it's just really hot and really humid. Not mine. And this is mine. So I've made it onto the tram, and Pottinger Street is apparently 12 stops away. Should be about 20 minutes, and it's really easy to know where you are because if you just look at the sign up there, it says what the next station is going to be. Or if you're like me, you can just use Google Maps as well. Each of these white dots along the route signifies a station that it's going to be stopping at. Somebody's got a lot of plushies in the front windscreen of their car. And a good thing about the tram is when the people at the front get off, if you rush quickly, you can get their front seat. So I've now got a perfect view of Hong Kong right in front of me. Want to see it? There we go. Look at that. Now I think this is actually the road I walked up earlier from Kams Roast Goose. So some of it looks pretty familiar. Now you've got to be careful and not hang out the window or put your hands out the window because you go really close to some obstacles. Like there's a tree just by there which is probably about that far away from this window here. So if I had my head out, get smacked in the face with a leaf. And obviously that'll be better than going past the telegraph post. So I always think that's one of those iconic buildings here in Hong Kong. It's easily recognizable, especially from across the water. So I think that tram ride was about 20-25 minutes. I've got off at Pottinger Street. I'm just walking up the hill. According to Google Maps, Tai Kwun Jail should be on the top of this hill up here. It's starting to get steep already. So I've got to go past that Lululemon store, keep going and up the hill. And when I say steep hill, I mean steep hill. I'm going to be going up these steps here. So it's just a couple of 100 meters away. I've got a bad feeling it's a couple of 100 meters uphill because all I can see in that direction is steps. It's a good workout. So if you want to get fit, come to Hong Kong and just walk around for a bit. That's my advice. Don't need a gym membership. So this is where I'm walking up. Started right down there. I think I'm about halfway now. I've broken into a little bit of a sweat, but come on, let's carry on. Let's keep going up here. So I think this is the last stretch now. Looking at the map, it should be the other side of that building there. And a bit darker as well. Okay, we're here. Prison Yard and Visitor Centre. That direction down there. I don't know if this map's showing up correctly because it's a bit dark and that's a bit bright. This is a map of the Tai Kwun prison area. So looks like we're here. And I'm going to go through there, go into the prison yard. These blocks on the floor as well also remind me quite a lot of Victorian paving stones back in the UK, but that same design like that. I think this might be the way in. Barrack Lane, Tai Kwun Lane. Okay, looks like we're on the ground floor here. So we've got the visitor centre, the heritage storytelling space, Tai Kwun Lane and parade ground here. So I think it's down here. So this must be the wall of the old prison here. It looks older than the building I've just come from. So there's no sign now I've come through here. So if I just walk down this direction, maybe go up those steps. So this is Barrack Lane. Okay, so this building in front of me with the old bricks and blocks. This is the old holding cells. So it's here we're standing where the police station holding cells were once located. These cells were built into the back of the charge room in 1940. They were expanded to temporarily hold suspects before they were charged, released or tried at central magistracy. The duty officer or his assistant in the charge room was responsible for taking care of suspects on remand. An interview room next to the cells was used for interrogations. And if you look up, you can see the bars on the windows. Here's the visitor centre. It's open till 7, so I've got 25 minutes. So we'll have a very quick look around then if it's only open for 25 minutes. Main Heritage Gallery this is. So it looks like it's been here since 1841. So here are the police guns stored in there. So this was the police armoury for the look of it. Okay, that's looks like it's the end. I'm just going to double check to make sure I haven't missed anything. That was pretty short. No, that was everything. So there must be other areas I can go to. So let's keep walking. Oh, this was the first time around. There's shotguns, rifles. I'm playing prison yard this way, up the stairs. It looks like I'm getting to the prison yard this way. Hopefully, anyway. It's a bit of a maze. Okay, so prison yard this way. Okay, this part of the building was built in 1928. Okay, prison yard to the right, going to the prison yard I think. So here's the prison yard. And this is pretty big, and obviously it's got very steep walls as well to stop the prisoners getting out. So I think the only other prison I've ever been to is Alcatraz. I remember that had quite a big yard as well, prison yard there. It looks like maybe there's a special event going on there. People checking people in, unless it's a restaurant maybe. Let's have a look at what D-Hole's all about, shall we? Okay, that's like a storage place for chairs. Now, here's some more about information about this area. So this building was built between 1858 and 1862. Okay, so this was one of the oldest surviving structures of the original Victorian prison. Okay, it's the mortuary. So about that, seen some things in there. But something I haven't seen yet is the actual prison cells. So they're obviously going to be here because this is a jail and a prison after all. I'm not sure what to look for on the sign because they're all called D block, C block, H hall. Nothing like that. So it says it's staircase. Maybe I'll go upstairs, there might be somewhere up there. We can have a look, can't we? Yeah, that was just sort of the way out. Let's go higher. Like, I've got to find some jail cells somewhere. It's a jail. Go any higher anyway, so let's have a look at this floor here. JC Cube, foyer, entrance and office. That doesn't sound promising. Staff only. To be kept closed. Staff only. Staff only. Okay, so this circle, red circle on the floor here, is the Sally Port and red circle. Sally Port is a secure, controlled entry point into a place, especially in jail. In Victorian prison, every block had a Sally Port or security gate. Red circle on the floor was another security measure. The prison medical officer would sit on one side of the gate while prisoners queued on the other for medicine. To prevent attacks on the officer or other incidents, only one person was allowed inside the red circle at the time. So I've never heard of anything called the Sally Gate before. Sally Port even. So JC Cube this way. I don't know if that's a business, a shop, staff only. So it looks like it was a jail cell, but now it's blocked off. Same here. You got the door, but blocked off. Toilets. Jail cell for storage of chairs. So again, D-hole. So this was the female nursery section by the look of it. JC Cube this way. Let's see what the JC Cube is, shall we? Doesn't look like it's going to be prisons. So I've just been speaking to one of the members of staff in the JC Cube place. And apparently all the jail cells are currently closed because the whole area has been renovated for 2 different exhibitions that are taking place. Once in the JC Cube room there is a new section of the building. So they do poetry readings, theatre and exhibitions in there. But everywhere else as well, she said there's 2 sections for the jails, how it existed back then. It was very dark here. And unfortunately, both of those are closed for renovation work because they're opening 2 exhibits on the 16th of November. I think we walked past the sign saying something about 16th of November earlier. So even though I'm in a prison with jail cells, I can't see any jail cells, which isn't a bad thing, I suppose. Like, I'm not really into my prisons or jails. But she did tell me that this area will be closing as well in 7 o'clock, and it is now 10 to 7, so I guess I've got to hurry up. She actually noticed my camera as well. She's looking to purchase one of these, so I just talked to her a little bit about the camera. So I showed her the microphone. I've got the microphone actually underneath my t-shirt here to try and make the audio a bit better. So I'm back where I was. So that's where all the toilets were. She said a lot of the jail cells have been, like I've been noticing, have been converted to storage spaces and toilets. So this is where I'm talking about. See, lots of places saying work in progress and closed off. So that looks like it would have been the mess hall in there. So where the prison meals were served. So a lot of places like that are now closed off. So we're back in the yard. I don't know what I'm going to do now. Let's walk this way because I didn't come in this way. This would have been the superintendent's house. I'll walk this way. See where I come to. So, Sea Hall. Let's have a look what's in here. That is a hidden bar. The guy who was in here before me asked me to ring the bell just there. So I pressed it, thinking it was just going to buzz. And then he told me it's a hidden bar. I said, whatever. But then I looked through here. You can't see because it's very tinted glass, but it's a bar going on in there. And then some lady just popped her head around the door. I said, hello. So I just said, oh no, I don't need the bar, it's okay. Okay, so let's keep looking around, shall we? So another area there, looks like it's under renovation as well. Okay, I think maybe we should head towards the barrack block. Don't know if we've actually seen that or not already. That's closed. So we've walked this way before. There's a hall. Magistracy hall. Barrack block this way. So here's the parade ground. And you could just imagine when people are imprisoned here looking out their windows, they wouldn't have had anything like this to look at. It would have just been straight out to the Kowloon Peninsula and all the original fields and the hills and the mountains are over in that direction. Right, I think I'm going to leave this place now and head over to the Sky100 observation area. To do that, I'm going to get a bus, a few stops down the road, then get the MTR across to Kowloon Station, so we're underneath the water, and then go up in the observation area, see all this area from the top, and that brings my time to a close here in Hong Kong. I'm just going to head back to the hotel after that, have a shower, maybe go in the pool real quick, get dressed, and catch the airport express back to the airport where I was just over a week ago, 8 days ago. So this 8 days has just gone so quick, it's unbelievable. Anyway, I'd reminisce later. For now, I'm going to head over to the Sky100 observation area. Well, I've made it to Hong Kong Station. I'm now going to take the Tung Chung line underneath the water to Kowloon Station. I didn't get a bus here in the end. One of the ladies at the jail suggested I just walk down the hill. She said it was 5 minutes, but it took me about 15. So I need to take exit C from Kowloon Station, which is up this way. Got out in Kowloon Station and you enter a shopping mall. So I'm just going to be walking through this for a few minutes until I get to the Sky100 observation tower. I will be coming back to Kowloon Station shortly as well after I go back to the hotel, because this is where the high-speed rail airport express goes from. So I've just had a quick look around first to familiarise myself with the layout of the mall so I know where to come later, so I'm not in a rush when I'm carrying my big rucksack and my other camera bag and my other bag. Arrived at the Sky100 here in Kowloon. Next stop, the 100th floor. So it looks like I gotta go down before I go up. Thank you, bye. Got my ticket. So even though I pre-booked it, I still had to collect my paper ticket at the box office. And that's who's behind me, a whole party of about 50 people. So I was waiting for ages just in the line to collect the paper ticket, because a huge tour group has just arrived. I mean, a huge, there must be about 100 people. So it's going to be busy at the top, I think, even though it's closing in 30 minutes. Quite big up here. So I've made it to the top of the Sky100 building here in Hong Kong. If you just look down there, this side is Kowloon. My hotel is down there somewhere. You've got the Star Ferry piers over there. Then if you look in that direction, that's where you've got Hong Kong itself, with those iconic skyline buildings. Wow. What an amazing view. What an amazing view this is. And I actually purchased these tickets through Klook, like I've done in everything else I've done on this trip. And I noticed that the cost on the door was 119 or 190. I'm not sure what it said, but it was really expensive. I'm sure I only paid about £6 via Klook to actually come up here a few weeks ago. So check out the Klook website. The link will be in the description below. If you use my promo code Travelshorts when you're checking out, you will have a 5% discount on your ticket. So I know I've only just got here, but I'm just going to walk quickly, do a complete loop of the whole platform, and then probably head to the hotel. Because I'm a bit short of time now, I think I'm going to grab a taxi just to speed things up rather than taking public transport. But first, I want to enjoy these views. So you've also got these binoculars everywhere, so if you want a closer look at all the buildings down in Hong Kong or down there in Kowloon, and they're free of charge as well, unlike some tourist attractions where you got to put money in them. So we've also got a gift shop up here. Obviously it wouldn't be a tourist attraction if it didn't have a gift shop. The clock, which means it's the light show just started. So I really need to be getting a move on, if I'm honest. I want to get to the hotel by 8:30, get ready, have a shower and leave about 9. So I'm in the airport by 9:30, 10 o'clock at the latest. Like I said, I better speed up, I think, here now. I've come here to see what I wanted. I wanted to see the Hong Kong skyline from up high. And what an amazing view it is. What an amazing view. So I've come to the other side of it now where there's nobody, because I guess the better view is behind me that way. And here's the sign. There. So here I am at the Sky100 Hong Kong sign. So I really think I better get a move on now. One last look out the window in this direction. There we go. Oh, he's turned the lights off. So it's only 3 minutes past 8 and it closes at 8, but they're closing everything now. I suppose they want to get home to their families. It is Sunday night after all. So I'm just going to do one complete loop, grab a taxi back to the hotel, grab a shower, grab another taxi basically back here to Kowloon Station, which is below us, catch the airport express, head to the airport, check in, and then wait for my flight, which is departing at 1:10 tomorrow morning. Well, okay, so this is the other side. Oh, this looks nice, actually. It's not as bright as the other areas, but still a nice... So this is the Kowloon side. This is the Hong Kong side over there. I guess this is more where people live, rather than the offices and the skyscrapers and the tower blocks. Well, look at them turning all the lights off now. Right, I really want to stay a bit longer, but I just can't. I can't afford the time anymore. Looks like there's a big batch of people going back to the lift though. So I'll wait for that group to go, and then I'll catch the next lift after them. But this floor is pretty impressive as well. It's a glass floor looking down at the city below. That's it. I'm leaving the Sky100 observation area. Just going to catch the lift down. I'll be down in probably 2 minutes. I don't think I press it myself. Well, it looks like I've got the elevator to myself all the way to the ground floor. We were 393 meters high. Any other time, I would have liked to spend a bit more time up there, but I just couldn't do it. That's the problem. Time in Hong Kong seems to run away from you. I've been a bit relaxed today, walking around everywhere. Well, my ears are popping as well. But everything seems to take an awful long time to get from place to place. So even though I've been on the go most of the day, ears are popped again. It just seems to take a long time, and you just can't do everything you want to do in the day. Which I suppose there's lots of things to do in Hong Kong, and it's a huge space, which when you look at the map, you only think it's ears popped again the third time. You just think it's a small area, but it's really not. There's big distances between the places that you go into. Anyway, we're on the ground floor, so let's find a way to get a taxi, shall we? There's got to be somewhere just outside. Okay, let's go. Doors are opening. Ooh, so I guess this is the way out. There's a view we just saw. So it kind of reminds me of the Shard in the UK, back in London. Like, I've been to the top of there twice as well, and that's a similar thing. You go up in a big lift, you see the whole area surrounding you. We're back where I purchased the tickets from. Okay, so this is the way out. Right, now let's find out the exit where we can get a taxi from. So if you look at this sign, taxi south north entrance. Let's follow those signs. I don't mind if it's the north or the south. As long as there's an entrance and it's got taxis. To be honest with you, I'm starting to get a bit tired as well now. Which is a good thing, because it might mean I might sleep on the plane going home. The flight's about 12.5 hours. They'll be departing Hong Kong International at 1:10 tomorrow morning. So a few hours to go yet. And then I get home in the UK in Manchester at 5 to 8 in the morning. So it's going to be a long day today and tomorrow combined. Okay, what have we got? South North entrance, mainland coaches, W Hotel, down the escalator. This looks like the south entrance in front of us here. Hopefully the taxi stand will be free. When I say free, I mean no people, not free of charge. Can you believe it? The men's changing facility in the fitness centre on the roof is closed for maintenance. So I've had to come down to the basement to the disabled bathroom to shower here. So I'm not going to have a swim tonight because I can't really get changed into my shorts here, then go up in the lift to the 17th floor. So I'm just going to have a shower, freshen up, no hairdryer to do my hair, so even fuzzier than usual. So grab a shower now, and then I'm going to head out and go to the train station. So after I've had a shower, I'll speak to you guys in a minute. All sorted. Now let's go back up to the club lounge, get my bags, get a taxi. I might even try and see if I can have a can of Sprite as well. Let's see and keep our fingers crossed. So I've made it to Kowloon Station. I just need to go down a few floors, get tickets for the Airport Express, and then head towards the airport. The Airport Express is a direct link between Hong Kong and the airport. It runs about every 10 minutes and it takes about 25 minutes to go each way. So for about just over 100 Hong Kong dollars, so that's about £11, there's a direct link between the airport and the city, so it's good value. We just need to go and find out where to get the tickets from. In fact, I'm going to be using my Octopus card to get there. It makes the price slightly cheaper. I just need to put some money on my Octopus first. I think if you use the Octopus, it's 105 Hong Kong dollars from Kowloon Station to the airport. Here's the add value machine. So first of all, I just want to see how much is on my Octopus. Oh, that was quick. So I've got 48 left, which means I need to add about 60 onto there, but I haven't got 60, so I'm going to add 100, and then I'll use it again when I come to Hong Kong in a few months' time. Okay, to add value, you put your Octopus card in here, and then you add your money into there. I'm going to use 100, and then I'll have value on it when I come into Hong Kong in a few months' time. So I've now got 148 on there. If you're interested, here's the cost of everything on the Airport Express, depending which station you're going to and from. There you go. So it's deducted 100. So it looks like it's going to be here in 2 minutes if you look on the screen there. Pretty easy to find once you come here. It's very well signposted. I'm on platform 1. Here you can see it clearly says to Airport and Asia World Expo. And if you look at the map here, we're in Kowloon. We've got one stop before us, Sing Yi, and then we're going to be at the airport in about 24 minutes, I think. It's pretty empty. This is 9:30 on a Sunday evening. And here it is, and it looks empty. Ooh, and it's air conditioned as well, even better. So there's quite a lot of space as well for luggage here. So I guess that brings my time here in Hong Kong to an end, unfortunately. Even though I've been here 8 days, it doesn't seem like that at all. I've still got so much I wanted to see. In the run-up to this trip, when I was planning everything, I added 54 points of interest to a Google map. And I wanted to try and visit all of those places, but I don't even think I've done half of it. Wow, some good views out the window. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because of the reflections or because we're about going through a tunnel. But yeah, so I had 54 points of interest I wanted to go to on Google Maps. A lot of those also included restaurants, and I've virtually done no restaurants at all. Like, we had the disaster today, which was Kams Roast Goose, so that might wait for another time when I come back again. Like I've said in previous videos, I am going to be coming back to Hong Kong early next year with my son Matthew and daughter Holly on our epic China adventure, where we're going to start off in Beijing, then go to Xi'an, Shanghai, Chengdu, Guilin, Yangshuo, and then to Hong Kong over the space of 3 weeks, traveling overland. It's kind of the next part of our epic European adventure that we did last year, where we traveled all around Europe to 11 different countries in 3 weeks, just using trains. It was a great family adventure, and I want to kind of replicate it again. We originally planned to do the China adventure back in 2020, and it was going to be even bigger than it actually is now. We were going to get on a train from North Wales, can you believe this, and travel all the way via train to Hong Kong. And that would have been through Europe, through Russia on the Trans-Siberian, through Mongolia, Trans-Mongolian to Beijing, and then carried on through China to Hong Kong. But two things. Firstly, everybody knows what's happened in the last few years with regards to travel, and especially to coming into China. And then now that China's opened, there's issues with Russia, as you obviously know as well, so we can't do that part of the trip. We're just simply not able to go through Russia. That originally was going to be 5.5 weeks, so we're going to spend all the summer school holidays on that trip. And I don't think, because of the current climate and the political climate in certain countries, that we're going to get to do that for any time soon. And that's a big disappointment, because Matthew and Holly, my children, are growing up real fast, and in a few years' time, they're not going to be wanting to spend 5.5 weeks in a train carriage with Daddy, are they? My flight departs at 1:10 tomorrow morning. I'm flying Cathay Pacific in economy, so the seats are going to be a bit squashed. What else? I'm flying from Hong Kong to Manchester Airport back in the UK. And I have mentioned it in previous videos, but I actually won a free flight to Hong Kong via Cathay Pacific through the Hong Kong Tourism Board and the Hong Kong Tourism Authority. So I didn't actually pay for this flight to Hong Kong, which is why I'm here, basically. Because otherwise, I wouldn't have been coming to Hong Kong now because I'd already purchased tickets to come next year. We're just stopping in Sing Yi now. So this is the station on the way to the airport. So after this station, it'll be a direct train all the way to the airport. One of the passengers got on. I think it's because it's quite late now. I doubt there's very many flights leaving the airport this late at night. Anyway, I guess I'll see you guys when I get to the airport. My plan is to check in my bag as soon as possible because I don't want to be lumbering around with that big rucksack on my back. Anyway, time is now 9:42, so I reckon we'll be in the airport in about 10 minutes. So first stop will be to check in the bag. I'll then go through passport control and immigration just so I'm the other side of customs. I always prefer being that side as early as possible just in case there's any delays. And then maybe in an hour or two I'll grab some dinner or supper really at this time. It is getting really late. Oh, I've just noticed there's a map above me. Hold on. So you can actually see the progress where we are. So we obviously start at Kowloon over there, and the LED lights are flashing for how far we actually are. So we're halfway between Sing Yi and the airport by the look of it. And I think we're going through tunnels as well because my ears are popping. It's very dark. I can't see anything out there. So I guess that was it. My trip to Hong Kong. My thoughts about it. I really do enjoy Hong Kong. As I've mentioned in many of these videos, I've been here once before in 2006. I'd say my number one activity while I was here was Hong Kong Disneyland. I'm a huge Disney parks fan, apart from Disneyland Paris. That's a horrible park and I'm never going to go there again. If you're a subscriber and you've seen some of my previous videos, you'll know the reason why. But this park was great. It's one of the smallest Disney parks there is, but it's also I found it very compact and easy to get from one place to the other. And even though I spent 2 days there, I reckon if you really tried, you could do everything in one day. So I did every ride on the very first day, as well as a couple of the shows and the fireworks at the end. So if you are pushed for time and you're not a major theme park fan, 1 day is enough. But if you're like me and you like to go on things more than once and you love the whole theme park experience, I'd highly recommend 2 days. And I also stayed in the Disneyland Hotel as well. And that was an amazing hotel. It's, for those familiar with Disney properties around the world, it's very similar to the Grand Floridian in Florida. I would say probably the worst place I did and worst attraction was Ocean Park, which is really surprising because, like I said, I love theme parks, but everywhere there was closed. It seemed like you went to an attraction and there was a maintenance sign on there, down for maintenance, closed. Same for all the restaurants and cafes around there. I was really hungry. Every cafe I was going to closed. And what made it worse was I paid double the price so I could have a Fast Pass Plus system, or Fast Pass Pro, which I think cost me just under £50. Tickets to go in were around just under 50. Fast Pass Pro was just under 50. And that basically allowed me to jump the queue on all the rides. And it listed out all the rides that was eligible to be used on that. 4 of the ones that were on that list that I'd paid for to jump the queue on were actually closed. So that was a bit annoying. And then, to be honest, the park was so empty, you could walk onto every ride anyway. And a couple of the ones, I didn't even bother showing the FastPass coupon, the QR code on my phone, because it was just as easy enough to just walk through the normal line. So if I'm honest, I would not recommend going to Ocean Park. Maybe a different time when all the rides were open and all the restaurants were open, it might be different, but I had a bit of a negative experience there, if I'm honest. More historic things, the Chantan Buddha, otherwise known as the Big Buddha, that's a great experience there. I went in 2006, and I think it's changed quite a lot now. So back then, to get there, it took about half a day on a bus, and I had to do about 1 or 2 changes along the way. Now you go on the Nongping 360 cable car, which is a cable car that goes all the way from Tung Chung Station on Lantau Island, all the way over to the Chantan Buddha. And I opted to go for a crystal cabin, which meant I was basically surrounded in glass to have a great view of the scenery all around. Then when you get to the Buddha, you then walk up the steps to see it. And I believe it's the largest sitting bronze Buddha in the world. But I would definitely recommend that. If you come to Hong Kong, again, it's on one of those must-see things to do. And I guess that's it for the Hong Kong trip. This might be a good time to point out my other social media channels on Instagram, Facebook, and even Twitter. You can find me at Travelshorts. Easy enough to remember. It's the same channel that I've got here on YouTube. So at Travelshorts, and I normally have more up-to-date information there, behind-the-scenes photographs, especially on Instagram. Basically, these YouTube videos take me a long time to edit. And when I'm working full-time, I rather spend my weekends just relaxing with the kids rather than stuck behind a computer. Oh, don't know if you heard that, but I believe we're about to arrive at the airport. Okay, yes, we're here. We're almost arrived at the airport. Anyway, I think I'm going to turn the camera off now. Next time you'll see me, you'll be in the airport. I was so excited getting to the airport, I forgot to film an outro, so that's why I'm doing this voiceover now. If you made it to the end of this episode, thank you so much for watching, it's really appreciated. If you're new here, my name's Mark, and I make travel and theme park videos from around the world. And if you've liked what you've seen, please think about liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell button. And stay tuned because the 10th and final episode of my trip to Hong Kong will be uploaded shortly. Thanks for watching. Bye. Next time on Travelshorts Hong Kong.